apparently there's some news with net neutrality over in California. And Uppity Bumpkin, I'm gonna just Google it. Thank you for the article. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, from Ars Technica, California Senate defies FCC, approves net neutrality law. Net neutrality takes big step forward in California, but lawsuits loom. Here we go. The California State Senate yesterday approved a bill to impose net neutrality restrictions on internet service providers. I would change that to net neutrality protections. Oh man, here we wait. Let's do this. Let's do this State of the Union style. This is a big. The California State Senate yesterday approved a bill to impose net neutrality protections for consumers. All right, I'm over it too. Challenging the FCC attempt to preempt such rules. The FCC repeals of its own net neutrality rules included a provision to preempt states and municipal governments from enforcing similar rules at the local level. But the governors of Montana and New York have signed executive orders to enforce net neutrality, and several states are considering net neutrality legislation. The FCC is already being sued by 21 states and the District of Columbia, which are trying to reverse the net neutrality repeal and the preemption of state laws. Attempts to enforce net neutrality rules at the state or local level could end up being challenged in separate lawsuits. DC says, "You did it, Ron. Your testimony was so powerful." Yes. I wish that was true, but you know what? It's important that everybody does their freaking part. So I'm glad we did what we did. I'm glad we did what we did, and that we're continuing to do what we do. I showed up to city council. Some of you guys saw that video, and we're demanding municipal internet in our communities. We have to keep that up. We have to keep that up. The DC, Joe points out this is definitely going to be challenged by the FCC, and it is. It will be very tough for them to override states' rights. But this is why we have to try all of the above. And man, Ajit Pai, how's it going, buddy? You're a corporate shill with no integrity, and everybody hates you. Almost everyone in the country hates you. You made an ass of yourself when you DM'd a porn star that told you to go fuck yourself. So you're a pathetic corporate shill, and guess what, pal? You're gonna frickin' lose. You ain't winning this one. You're gonna lose. And I know Ajit Pai watches this stream all the time. So he's gonna see this. Boom. California may be the closest to passing such legislation after yesterday's Senate approval of SB 460, a bill proposed by Senator Kevin De Leon in Los Angeles. The bill passed 21-12, with all 21 yeses coming from Democrats. The bill is now being moved to the state assembly, where Democrats have a 53-25 majority over Republicans. The bill will prohibit home and mobile internet providers from blocking lawful content, application services, or non-harmful devices, except in cases of reasonable network management. Throttling would also be outlawed, along with paid prioritization or providing preferential treatment of some internet traffic to any internet customer. More generally, the bill prohibits ISPs from interfering with a customer's ability to select, access, and use broadband internet access service or lawful content application services or devices of the customer's choice, or an edge provider's ability to make lawful content, application services, or devices available to a customer. All right. ISPs would be forbidden from using deceptive or misleading marketing practices that misrepresent the treatment of internet traffic or content to its consumers. Violations will be punishable under the state's existing consumer protection laws, which allow for injunctions and financial damages. The California bill would also prohibit state agencies from buying internet service from an ISP unless that provider certifies under penalty of perjury that it will not engage in the activities banned by the bill. Good for you, California. We got some talk about De Leon. He does have a super PAC. He's taking some money from the same parts of Feinstein, and he's certainly not my first choice at all. I'd rather see one of the progressives that's running. I'd much rather see one of the progressives that's running. Sorry, I got a phone call. But in this case, focusing on this story, you know, because that's a different topic for a different day. Focusing on this story, this bill's good. This is a good. I mean, any news pro net neutrality is good, and we have to throw everything we have at these people. And when I say these people, I mean the FCC, I mean the ISPs. They're going to do whatever they can to repeal net neutrality, and we can end the battle once and for all if we get municipal broadband internet in all the communities. And the ISPs are scared. They know we're doing this, and they're scared. They know the states are drafting up their own laws, and they're scared. And good on California. I mean, my next step is to bring this to the attention of some of my elected officials and to continue the conversation for municipal broadband. And that's what I plan on doing. I recommend doing the same in your community. Show up to municipal internet is the same thing as a public ISP, Joe asked. Basically, yeah. I mean, it would be, we would build our own infrastructure. You would get your internet from your city instead of from a private ISP. It would be another utility like water or electricity. Other communities that have done it, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Sandy, Oregon, they enjoy the best internet the country has to offer, at least for residents. For residents, I should specify that, for residents, at a price that is cheaper than what most people generally pay for their internet. And Chattanooga's been ahead of the curve for years now. Chattanooga, they were a step ahead of everybody. They've been doing it since like 2014. So the battle continues. This is good news. This is good news for my state, California. Dem Socialist says, I think Canada does that, don't they? I'm not 100% sure. I know that a lot of other countries do it that way. They kind of made the internet a public good, which is the way it ought to be treated, especially at this point, because it's essential to the lives of all of us. Some places did something similar to us. Australia did something similar to us by privatizing internet access. And they have really shitty Wi-Fi as a result, just like us. You know, I mean, we privatized the internet. We allowed a legal duopoly to happen. We're really fighting a battle because of it. The FCC might win this battle with this particular bill, though. We'll see. I mean, the fight continues. Like you said, companies wanting more profit grew after they put business on the internet. Absolutely. And now the ISPs are the biggest price gougers. So this is good news. Of course, you know, again, the fight is not over. I encourage all of you to do everything you can in this battle because it's going to be a long one. I showed up to my city council. You guys should totally do the same. DC 420 LA posted a video of my full comments on to my city council. If you're looking for a place to start, I'm not saying that I'm, you know, you might hear my comments and be like, wow, Ron really sucked. That's fine. But you know, if you want just a case study to look at, you know, maybe to help frame your own comments, where can I go to learn enough to bring it to my city? I don't think, I mean, you don't need to be an expert on infrastructure or anything like that. I mean, all you have to do is just show up to a meeting and tell your council that you want it. You think it's a good idea for the city. You think it's a worthwhile investment. And, you know, if you look at the comments I made, I did speak their language a little bit. You know, I spoke the language of this is a good community investment. This would benefit residents. This would benefit the community. I did focus on that stuff too. I didn't just make kind of the moral argument for it. I did that as well. But I also said, like, this is a good community investment because it is. It's a great investment for any city, especially a city in Southern California. Because, I mean, you know, look, LA is the show business capital. There are tons of, you know, startup-esque, you know, shows and stuff like that, media ventures. You know, I mean, like we have the Jimmy Dore show, you know, even what I'm doing right now, there's people all over the place that do this on a larger scale in Los Angeles. If all of a sudden Pasadena had the best internet to offer in the area at a reasonable price, you know, there's going to be an influx of the creative class into Pasadena. It would benefit the community. And then, you know what else? Other places in the area. If I guarantee if one community in the Los Angeles area does this, it will spread like wildfire. And that actually might not have been the best analogy to make, considering what's gone as of recent. So I apologize, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So yeah, domino effect. Forever voting third party points up. Yes, that's a better analogy to throw out. A domino effect. There we go. So yeah, this is a good thing. This bill is a good thing. The FCC will certainly fight it, but this is a good net neutrality bill. And, you know, opinions of De Leon aside for the moment, this particular bill, good step, good thing. Glad it's there. Glad it's happening. And this is some good net neutrality news. We definitely woke up with some very good net neutrality news. And hey, if you don't live in California, you know, states are going to follow suit. You know, New York did it. Montana did it. Now we're doing it in California. Other states are going to follow suit. And, you know, I recommend everybody participate in any way you can, because this fight is huge. The free and open internet depends on it, and we need to have all hands on deck. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.